Hey everybody, and welcome to a very advanced look at what is shaping up to be a very interesting game. This is Eldritch. It is a first-person roguelike action horror game. So Too Spooky September continues. It's not just Outlast, it's not just Amnesia, it is this game from Minor Key Games, a studio formed by two brothers, the Pittman brothers, as I'm going to call them, even though that makes them sound like they run like a lube shop or something like that. Formerly working at 2K, I know one of them worked on the AI for games like Bioshock 2, as well as XCOM The Bureau, and the other one, I believe, worked on some stuff in the Borderlands franchise. But they've broken off, they've gone indie to make their dreams come true with Eldritch. So this is an H.P. Lovecraft-inspired, horror-infused, very, very creepy first-person roguelike, and immediately struck off the bat by how awesome, like, the arms are. I know it's kind of a rudimentary animation. It's by design, but it's just got, like, the perfect punch animation for, like, "Oi, what'd you say to me, mate? I'll smack you upside the gobber, I will." I apologize for my accent here. So I played about 90, I was going to say 90 seconds, but literally 1.5 minutes. No, 1.5 hours of Eldritch so far. I've been playing a lot of roguelikes and roguelike-likes. Roguelites, not roadlights. That would be like an avenue or something. And this is among the most intriguing that I've played so far, despite the fact that it is still, you know, in development. This is beta. It's very, very intriguing. It's novel in the sense that it almost reminds me, it's not so much a dungeon crawler as it's almost like a dungeon crawler mixed with a stealth game. So it's not a game like Paranautical Activity where you drop into the room and everyone's aggroed to you. Same with the game like The Binding of Isaac. It's much more, it's almost like Dishonored meets, or not Dishonored necessarily, maybe like an early Thief game meets a roguelike, which is very interesting. Anyway, we're going to do one of the earliest chests in the game, but I do want to point out that there is some persistence, so I have gotten, these are our currency for the game, essentially, artifacts, and I put a bunch of those artifacts in this chest. When you put them in the chest, they're safe, so you don't get to spend those currency, or that currency, on your existing run, but it does become like a store that you can pull from later. So I'm going to do the first adventure here, because this is the easiest one, and I've already completed it. And we are going to get started here, and hopefully you'll be intrigued by this, as intrigued as I am. I've been talking with Alpaca Patrol. Alpaca Patrol's in love with it already. This is a game that I think is going to interest a lot of people. Immediately, I mean, there's going to be people out there who are a little bit superficial and say, like, oh, this looks like a lot like Minecraft ripoff, blah, blah. Everyone's trying to copy Minecraft. This is not anything like Minecraft, except for the fact that it does, to a certain extent, replicate the sheer sense of terror I had, you know, the first time I went into a dungeon in Minecraft and was like, oh, what is that? What is that? These, like, horrible creatures from the Abomination. So we're on this mission, and, you know, there's no boss fights at the end of every floor. There are enemies that we will encounter in spades, though. Our goal is just to collect an artifact. So, again, it's kind of like Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones doesn't go on his expeditions to kill people. He just wants to get artifacts that belong in a museum. There are going to be rooms that we are going to come across which are kind of, you know, roguelite tropes, and the first one is going to be this shop in here. I believe that's a shop anyway. Just to talk about controls here quickly, I'm using the Xbox 360 controller. It controls fine with the Xbox 360 controller. Mouse and keyboard probably a little bit more intuitive, but what can I say? I'm stubborn. Right trigger is going to be attack here. This is also going to be like throw if we have a weapon that's throwable, like that bottle, for example. Probably not a good idea to use that if we are playing a stealth game, unless we want to create a distraction. And we can also use that to, like, shoot our gun and use our dagger if we get one. What else is there? There's run. We can platform. When you run, of course, you make more noise. You might have heard somebody discover me there. Sound design in this game, truly horrifying in the best way possible. Very, very creepy. Apart from that, there's not that much. We can crouch. We can do, like, a run slide, like so, which is kind of cool. But apart from that, you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. The one thing that's kind of interesting is that you can actually pull yourself up on ledges. So, oh, that was a bad example. But if you jump on something that's a little bit too high, you can pull yourself up. But anyway, let's start by going to the shop here. This is why I gave myself some extra money. Can I close the door? Yes. So I could go to the shop and buy something right off the bat. So again, you know, like Spelunky, like Isaac, there are things that you can buy that will really affect your run. So, did somebody just open that door? I just heard a door open. Enemies can't open doors. Don't fuck with me, game. I'm going to buy this dagger, and I'm just going to use my mouse to click on buy, and we'll use our artifacts here. And this is going to give me a weapon that I can use. Now I have 69 artifacts, the whole reason I did that. Might want to buy a single key, and ham basically gives us health. Like in Spelunky, It's kind of like a Spelunky Isaac mashup. If we wanted to, we can murder the shopkeeper and take all of these items, but he's going to be mad. He's not as strong as the shopkeepers in Spelunky are. You can kind of just brute force him. But anyway, what is a medical kit? I can examine it and see what it does. Okay, you can revive yourself after death for a small cost. Locksmith Kit. What does this do? Lets you open locked doors and put locks on doors for a small cost. We're going to cancel that. I'm just going to roll with some of the items that I've used before so that I think I have a better chance for success. Okay, so now we've got our weapon. You know, you can fight people with your fists. Oh, shit, there's some enemies. You can fight people with your fists, but it's not the best method. That being said, even though this is a stealthish game, you can definitely attack people from afar and still succeed, or attack them head on and still succeed. You can loot corpses afterwards. That's how I got those extra artifacts there. Should point out that after you loot an enemy, it might not always be in your best interest to loot an enemy, because after you loot an enemy, they can respawn and come back. So I will take this revolver as well. There's lots of revolvers that we'll find, but mostly we want some ammo. So you can play this as stealthily or as kind of assaulty as you'd like. Oh, I've been discovered here, but I can just ambush him, I think. Oh. He has like a mage attack that is a little scary. But it's really like a unique kind of novel style. Oh, that guy died to something else. It's a novel style of roguelike that I've been having a whole lot of fun with so far. Now, moment to moment, the gameplay can be a little shallow when it comes to things like collectibles and stuff like that. There's only artifacts. Okay, we want this dagger, we want this artifact. There's only artifacts, there's only keys, and also bullets. We do find new weapons in each one of the quests. It's not like a true roguelike in the sense that, you know, you just play the same dungeons every single time, but it's randomized. There are, like, actual scripted quests that have different arenas, you know, different environments and stuff like that, and different objectives, and we'll hopefully show one of those off if I die here. It's not as punishing as your traditional roguelike either. I was able to complete the first quest on only like my second or third try. There's only 3 floors to this level. I think this might just be like baby's first quest, so I don't want to necessarily misrepresent the game like that. It is worth noting this is in beta as well, so it is you know, still currently in development. It's not due to come out until October 21st, which, you know, in the whole scheme of things is actually pretty soon, but that's cool. It is very much it works already. Let's murder this dude and take whatever artifacts he has. So occasionally we'll come across these shrines. Usually these will give us some kind of magical power. So Cloak Power. Press left trigger to cloak yourself. While you are cloaked, enemies cannot see you. The effect wears off after a short while. They can still hear you, though. So we can use this to sneak around, but it does cost us our artifacts every time we use it. So, you know, artifacts you can think of as being both like a... Oh, fuck that, dude. I'm not going in there. I got killed by one of those things on an earlier floor. I should point out before I finish, or before I start on a new train of thought, the monster design in this game is fucking horrific. I mean, it's H.P. Lovecraft inspired. A lot of games and movies and you know, books are H.P. Lovecraft inspired. So a lot of these enemies are similar to things that one will have seen before, but still truly frightening. And the sounds that they make, I hope I've got the volume turned up enough so that you can hear it, but seriously, goddamn nightmarish. So this deep one is actually nice to us. We're going to buy a little bit of meat. It's pretty cheap. And in doing so, we'll get back to full health. I don't necessarily want to buy anything else in here. We have another medical kit and a locksmith box. One of the things I do hope for the game is that there are more items. I was kind of talking about this earlier, and I want to finish that thought. But as of right now, there hasn't been too much variety on a run-to-run basis. There are different items that spawn on, like, the second quest, for example, versus the first quest, which is what we're on right now. I should point out that by getting that fountain, that effectively gave us 1 extra max HP. So that's how you get your HP ups in this game. But yeah, so like right now, on the first quest, all I've ever found is a dagger plus a revolver and, you know, a staggering cache of ammunition as you move onwards throughout the level. This is, by the way, an example of how you can climb up. If something's 2 blocks higher than you, you can still climb it instead of just being 1 block. But on the second mission, I have encountered, like, a tripwire gun, so you actually shoot out, like, a trap, and the trap, if an enemy walks by it, it does damage to them, I believe. Might actually just kill them, I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully we'll see that, because if I die here, I will go, or if I die or succeed, I will just go play that second mission and show you what that's all about. But yeah, I would love to see more kind of variety in the items, because so far it's basically just been like, okay, sneak around stealthily till you get a dagger, stab people in the face with a dagger, and you're usually good to go. I have the revolver. I don't usually use it too much because it does attract a lot of attention. And even though this is a stealthy game, at least so far, stealth hasn't been necessarily mandated, might be the best way to put it. I get lost a lot, even though there is a map, by the way. Stealth is incentivized, especially there are enemies that I am just not strong enough to kill. There are enemies that... Ooh, this guy's still alive. There are enemies that have kind of weird quirks to them that I just have not been able to kill. But apart from that, a lot of enemies you can just stab in the face and essentially sort things out that way. So, you know, stealth, again, incentivized in a lot of situations. I think you might get a damage bonus if you backstab an enemy as well, but I haven't been 100% able to confirm or deny that. But, you know, it is a game that you can play, at least so far on the first couple of quests, pretty assault-ish as well. So sometimes you do need to go up to the next floor in order to be able to actually get down to the floor below you, because it reminds me a little bit of like, ooh, I've never seen this book before. Dusty Book. Oh, God. This may or may not be a secret. It may or may not be a terrible idea for me to do this. We'll see. One thing I would also like to say, I know the game's still in development, so hopefully this is a useful piece of feedback, but I really wish you didn't have to say that you wanted to pick up some objects that were obvious. Like, I always want to pick up artifacts. I don't know why I wouldn't. Cool. Holy symbol. It has no apparent utility. Interesting. I'd rather have the compass, in all honesty, just because I know how to get to the exit, I guess, when I have the compass. And I'm stupid, and I would like to keep that the same. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. Maybe it's like the pendant in Dark Souls. There's something cool with that I don't know. But I totally forgot what I was saying earlier. Yeah, like, I never don't want to pick up an artifact. I never don't want to pick up a key. It's just like the Binding of Isaac. Like, imagine if Isaac always asked you, like, do you want to pick up this key? Of course, the answer is always going to be yes. Maybe there are situations later. No! Fuck you, angry boss man that I don't want to fight. I also do not want that dynamite. That's going to be more trouble than it's worth. So I think that would simplify things a little bit. And, you know, the main problems that I have with this game so far are the interface. I understand that some people are going to have a problem with the aesthetic. That's fine. In all honesty, it's your loss in this situation. This is a game that, although it closely resembles a game which doesn't necessarily need to be named, is vastly, vastly different from it. And if you discount all games just because of a visual style, you are a big ding-dong, and you're going to miss out on a lot of good things in your life and in gaming. I shouldn't say in your life. You know, that's basically your domain. Oh, no! That actually isn't that scary. What I've been trying to reconcile with this game is that the imagined horror is so much worse than the actual horror. Do we have a key that we can use to enter here? I didn't use my cloaking ability at all, but I can check out this guy. Materialize power. Press left trigger to conjure a mystical barrier. Sure. We can use this to get to enemy paths, or sorry, alternate paths, etc., etc. Cool. That looks like a lava. I'm a little concerned about that. But maybe this will be... Cloaking seems like way more useful, but at least I've used some power now at this point. But yeah, the imagined horror so far in Eldritch is substantially scarier than the actual horror, which is, you know, enemies are not really that strong, at least on the first quest, which again is probably like baby's first quest. It's probably just a tutorialization. But the sounds that they make, every enemy sounds like it's like whispering death in your ear. Every enemy sounds like it's just constantly throwing up rocks and pebbles, and like it's Tom Waits has been turned into a possessed demon. Like it's the sound design is absolutely horrific. But I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to call this a horror game. It does... Oh, Jesus, that got me. It didn't hit me, but it scared me. It does scare me all the time. Every time I play this game, I find it unpleasant, but not unpleasant in like this is a bad sense, but unpleasant in like, oh God, what is that? Oh God! Okay, that was genuine. Now you know why I will never do face cam rage throughs or face cam scare throughs. That scared the shit out of me. You can eat fruit. Sometimes you will find toxic fruit, and it's like, do you really want to eat this? Maybe it has the possibility of having positive or negative or like weird effects. I'm not sure, because I've been keeping it safe so far. I've been exclusively eating good meat, like not toxic meat, and exclusively eating non-toxic fruit, and it's been working out well for me so far. Usually when I die, I don't get kind of ground down by enemies. Instead, I just like encounter one enemy that is way too strong and I didn't realize, and he just cuts me up very, very quickly. So we should talk about this quickly. Man, that was, I can't stress enough that was really a genuine moment of fear for me. There's very few of those on the channel, not because I'm hard to scare, but because I usually don't play these scary games. But fucking September, man, it's just constantly the Outlast, Amnesia, now even Eldritch. It's like, hey, I know you usually play roguelikes. How about you play a roguelike today instead of playing a horror game for once? I'm like, yeah, that'd be a nice change of pace. Oh, by the way, it's inspired by the most horrific nightmare creatures you can possibly imagine. Yes, hello. Say hello to my little friend. I should point out, by the way, that's spoiled meat right there. Even though this is a fairly simple game graphically, man, it is still adept at making spoiled meat look absolutely disgusting. That must some kind of like evolutionary thing. It makes sense, obviously, given how detrimental it would be if you ate meat, rotten meat in our evolutionary past, potentially. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. You didn't come here to watch that kind of dialogue. It's not real science from me. Maybe from a real scientist it would be. But I should mention, Eldritch is currently available in this beta build, and I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Let me check out what's in this shop here. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. I believe if you pre-order the game, you do get access to the beta build, which I'm currently playing. It's $15. You know, that's kind of par for the course with a game like this. And I will put a link to that in the video description below. Even if you're not the kind of person who likes to pre-order a game, if you want to wait and see how it actually is going to turn out when it's a fully finished product, totally respect that. But if you like roguelikes, roguelites, etc., it's like a roguelike, go give it your vote on Steam Greenlight. The game just got announced like 2 days ago. It's coming in 6 weeks. Obviously needs a big push to get on Steam Greenlight, and I would love to be one of the impetuses for that. So there will be a link in the video description below. At bare minimum, if you find the game intriguing, or you take my word at face value, go click it and vote for it. It's free, and hopefully we'll give it a little bit of a boost. So, speed boots. These boots make you run faster. Pretty simple. What's really cool, and I haven't really mentioned this, I really like that there are kind of psychic powers added to the game. It's kind of like having trinkets in the Binding of Isaac, except it feels, honestly, a little bit more meaningful in that it makes things a little bit different every single time. So we'll loot that corpse there and continue moving onwards. And I know that this is going to come up in the chat. This is a game where, after it comes out, I could possibly see myself let's playing it, but I don't like to commit to stuff like that until I am 100% sure, or, you know, I see how things work out. But in any case, yes, I would love to stress, go vote for the game on Steam Greenlight. It's free. Help the guys out a lot. They're going to be on a busy schedule for the next 6 weeks, considering they just announced the game, so I'm sure they would appreciate your support, and I know that a lot of people who watch my videos are fans of the genre, so you know, this is definitely a worthwhile addition and a totally cool addition, you know, in the same way that I kind of described Paranautical Activity as the Binding of Isaac with guns, kind of as a joke, but also not necessarily wrong. This is kind of like the Binding of Isaac in first person with stealth, or maybe I should say it's like Paranautical Activity with stealth. Now, I still have to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. There's something really... this is toxic fruit, by the way. I'm not sure if that could be good or it will always be terrible. There's something really menacing about going into an area and finding the enemies already killed. Like, it's like, whoa, there's something even stronger than me around. So again, I'm not sure. Like, I think I'm on the top floor. I would also love to see navigation made, like, a little bit more streamlined. Exploration ends up becoming part of the game, and that gives it a certain unique flavor, for sure. It's not necessarily my favorite, though, to constantly be walking around trying to figure out where to go. But I am conscious of the fact that there's a very real chance that that is a personal thing, that I'm just bad at finding my way around places. And, you know, obviously not a typical horror-type game when I can take on 2 enemies at the same time without breaking a sweat, but... I think this is the exit right here. Beautiful. Okay, so we completed the first mission. We have grabbed the Soul of Dagon, which means we can complete the mission. And cool, so this is our opening area. I have a very, like, it's our hub world, you could say. I have a real soft spot for games that have, like, a really explorable and kind of fleshed out hub world. So, you know, it's a big library. We can go all the way up in there, and there's all sorts of passages that are difficult to come back from. Just cool to note that you can explore this entire area. It's not just your typical mission select screen. This is our bank chest. So as mentioned, you can, you know, move money into your bank chest, which is what I'm going to do so that I don't screw up my canonical save here. And then why don't we jump into the second world here, which is this quest right here. So I don't know if there's going to be more quests in the final version of the game. That was the first quest, which was very easy. This is going to be the second adventure, and this is the third one. You've got to beat each one to get to the subsequent one. I'm not sure if there's other ones that I will need to find later. I'm sure, you know, it'll probably launch with more than 3 quests, but I can't be 100% sure of that, so I'm not comfortable saying it. This is the same one that I was just in before. Let's go back to the library and go to the new one. Okay, so now we're on a desert world. Now we're on a desert world, and I have not spent very much time with this. But suffice it to say, if you were... Oh, there's something up there. There's meat up there. If you're one of the people who thought, well, this game looks interesting, but it's, like, too easy, this may convince you otherwise. I've been killed... I don't know what a lot of these enemies do, which is the frightening part, but I got killed in one hit down here by an enemy that I had never seen before that resembled a statue. Now, Rob, Alpaca Patrol, told me that the statues move like this, or they behave like statues from Doctor Who. That's totally cool. I've never seen any episodes of Doctor Who, so I don't know what he's talking about, and thus, as a result, find myself in a difficult position from a knowledge sense. Oh, I'm being chased by something. I could hear the little footsteps on the... Oh! What the heck? Okay, the sand is breaking. Unfamiliarity plays a very large role in the terror inherent in this game. Okay, so there's a lizard man. There's also like a ant or something behind me. Lizard men shoot poison. Oh god! Did those fire ants shoot poison at you too? Oh, and there's one of those weird statues. I've been killed by the spikes. Okay, well, again, that's what I mean. It's not the easiest game. Just the first quest I think is meant to be easy. That's probably as good a place as any, so good thing I put the artifacts into that chest because I was going to die soon after you. Just to proof of concept here, you can go see that they are there. So it's got a little bit of rogue legacy, I guess, mixed in that there is some form of permanence, but it certainly seems a lot less permanent than rogue legacy in the sense where, you know, you're not grinding. It is going to be skill on each one. You know, you could take put all your money in your bank chest for safekeeping, take it out, go into the level, intend to buy super powerful items and beat the chest, and then, oh, whoops, it turns out, you know, you walked on some spikes right out the bat, and all of your artifacts are gone. So this is Eldritch. It's a work in progress. It's currently in beta, and if you want to say something, why don't you say it to my face? I swear on me mum. Anyway, all casual racism aside, you can check out the video description below. Link to pre-order the game if you're interested. I would encourage you to do so. Pretty interesting game so far. I don't think it's going to be for everybody, but I am having a lot of fun with it so far, and it is genuinely shaking me to my bones, as you can probably see. This looks kind of like some kind of hidden entrance here, doesn't it? Or exit. Oh, by the way, totally forgot. You can change the way your character looks. I've got sweet little, like, Luigi man here, but, you know, you can alter your face as much or as little as you want. We can make ourselves into few archetypes here, and also, you know, change our actual clothes. So a certain degree of character customization. I kind of like art school man here. I wonder if I can get the perfect face and hair combination for that. Whatever, I'm just gonna look like a beatnik. Cool. Yeah, first off, pre-order in the video description below if you are interested. Totally cool looking game. I believe you get access to the beta build of the game if you pre-order it. Comes out full version October 21st, even if you're not going to pre-order it, which again, I don't begrudge you. You know, be an informed consumer. Wait until you get more opinions and wait until the game's actually done to determine making your purchasing decision. Totally fine by me. At least vote for the game on Greenlight if you're interested in it and you want to see it do well, which I do, because it's, again, stealth roguelike-ish game with some horror elements, which is kind of thing I don't think I've ever seen before. Super cool. Big thanks to the guys at the name of the studio that has slipped my mind. The Pittman Brothers, Steak and Shake. Big thanks for the copy of the game that I'm playing right now. As always, this has been an advanced look. It is a work in progress. If you... you know, see something you don't like, it's totally possible they could change. If you see something you love, it's totally possible to take it out. Anyway, I'm rambling here. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving your support in the form of a like or a civil comment about how silly or stupid or terrible at video games I am. It all goes a long way towards making these videos a success and making the channel a success. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.